Hey everybody, it's been a little bit since I posted. I wanted to come today and give a presentation of a couple of useful tools that I've gotten for valves on the VW engine, cylinder head valves. So anyway, the first thing I wanted to talk about was this spring compressor. I myself, and perhaps many of you, have looked high and low for a suitable VW head spring compressor, especially one that can handle high revving single and even double valve springs. What I found was this one that I got from Proform. I bought it through Summit Racing, and it has enough travel and adjustability to handle the VW head. And on the tip here, I don't know if it could be seen readily in the video or not, there's a coating, a vinyl coating, ostensibly to protect the head. But anyway, as is seen here, it's just a lever action compressor, and I've used it so far with good results. I'll show that to you in just a moment. Alrighty, what I've got here, hopefully on screen, is a high performance cylinder head that has CB Performance 650 dual inner and outer springs, and I've got the compressor. The vinyl coated end is against the valve face, and this is on the exhaust valve, and the part that covers the retainer is on the retainer. And I'm just going to lever the arm, and I think, if I recall, it'll just pop. These springs have a lot of pressure and a lot of capability to handle the higher revving engines, so these are some stiff ones anyway. So I'm just now pressing on the valve, and I'll just keep it going, and it just let go. So what I do now is lock it. And then on camera here, you can see the head, the retainer end is locked, and I just take my little magnet and try to get the retainers out. All right, so that's not coming out yet. Let's give it another go. Undo the lever and then adjust a little bit. Sorry for my head if it's in the way. And then try it again. Here we go. All right. Spin this magnet here. It's a 3-pound magnet. It's pretty heavy. What I'm seeing is that I may not have it pressed in far enough, so I'm going to have to make an adjustment before this thing is ready to surrender. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so couple of things to point out here. What finally worked to get this spring compressor installed, and the keeper, the little colettes, I guess you call them, out, as seen on the camera, these things, was to fiddle with the valve stem end. The large magnet that I've got here, this 2 or 3 pound magnet, it ironically might have been too much magnet, because when I put it on there, it's more attracted to the retainer and the compressor itself than it was able to pull off the little keepers. And so you might want to get yourself a smaller magnet. I have misplaced mine at the moment and I couldn't find it in time for this video. So anyway, and I also placed a piece of blue paper towel. This stuff, I balled it up and stuck it on the valve end. It seems like this unit, which works, and it works well, it takes a lot of strain off of the user. You have to do it just right. All your I's dotted and T's crossed. And I'll show you the adjustability I'm talking about in just a moment. But if you adjust it too far down, the valve won't compress, or if it does, it'll require a lot of force. If you put it too far up, it won't make contact at both ends, the spring end and the valve head end. So anyway, and you put that in there, you mash it down, you pull the lever, which is really easy, surprisingly, for this much spring. Again, these are 650 springs. And then you fiddle with this end long enough until the little keepers fall out. And so I'm going to relax the tension on the spring removal tool, and we should see our valve, spring, and retainer come free. And there they go. All right, let's get it off. And it looks like the retainer came with it. This is a titanium retainer that came with the heads. And so here's the dual spring, the 650 spring, and the valve is no worse for the experience. So, and over here you see the end, the blue paper towel that I placed over the end. I had to get just a little bit more clearance than what this tool would provide. I don't know if you can see it on camera there. The adjustment end, this is the part that you can compress further. You can bring this down one more, if I'm able to show it on screen here, and you essentially make the distance between the retainer end and the valve head end closer. What I found is when I'm trying to lever this thing in, it requires infinitely more force in that position. So I had to leave it in the position that I had it and just be willing to fiddle a little bit more with the keepers. So anyway, this tool is good. It definitely has enough horsepower for the person who doesn't have a air-operated spring compressor, but just be aware that you'll need to make some accommodations for the type of head you've got and the length of the valves. These may be a 1/4 inch longer now that I think about it, these valves. A stock head, I'm sure with its lighter springs, won't put up near as much of a fight. But that said, I will guarantee you I couldn't have done this without such a tool as the one I'm holding. These springs are no joke, and they're made to hold the valves and keep them from floating at high RPMs. They do that by having a lot of spring tension. So just something to be aware of. We'll cover the other tool next, and I'll be right back in just a minute.